The fitness community can be very overwhelming with misinformation, mixed opinions, and troll faces. But your fitness journey does not have to be complicated. You probably clicked on this video because you're interested in calisthenics, whether you want to do cool tricks and movements, or you simply want to build muscle and don't have access to a gym. Whatever your goal may be, they all have one thing in common that solidifies everything, and that's the basic fundamentals. In this video, I will first get out all the misconceptions out of the way. Then, I will tell you the fundamental exercises to base your workouts on, how to progress in your calisthenics journey, and I'll tell you how to structure your workout plan. Now for starters, let's get some doubt out of your guys' head. First misconception is I'm too skinny/fat. See, if everyone started their calisthenics journey in already good shape, there wouldn't be a point in working out. The reason why you're watching this video is probably because you are skinny, fat, or in between, and you want to get into shape. Second misconception, I'm not strong enough or have any muscle for calisthenics. Same thing, if everyone started off with muscle, there wouldn't be a reason to work out. Not only, you don't need muscle to gain strength, and you don't need strength to build muscle. They are both a byproduct of each other from working out. Now with that out of the way, let's get a quick rundown on some basic terminology. Don't worry if you forget the definitions, they're in the description and on the screen when I talk about them later. Calisthenics is a form of training using your body weight as resistance. Next is repetitions or reps. That is the number of times you perform a single exercise. For example, doing a full pull-up, start to finish, can count as 1 rep. Next are sets, which are a group of reps without rest. Sets break down your exercises into more manageable chunks. For example, in an exercise of 3 sets of pull-ups, that's basically saying in one group or one set, it will be 10 reps. Lastly is training to failure, which is performing a specific exercise until you can't physically go on even if your life depended on it. Before every training session, always warm up. Warming up before your exercise is probably one of the most important things you can do, as that is the first thing you should do, and as it prevents injuries. I would much rather spend 5 to 10 minutes warming up than risk myself weeks if not months of setback because I injured myself. Calisthenics is a very shoulder, wrist, and joint tolling training, so a lot of your warm-up should be focusing on those areas. Obviously, if you're training legs, don't focus on warming up your shoulders, but make sure you get a good feel of everything. Good ways to warm up are some stretches or an easier variation of your exercise. Alright, let's get into the fundamental exercises now. It can be split into 3 parts: push, pull, and legs. For push, the most obvious and notable exercise are the push-ups. Push-ups target the chest, triceps, and shoulder, along with some back and core. When performing a standard push-up, you want your arms to be slightly shoulder-width apart with your arms 45-degree range. You want to control yourself downwards, not dropping your weight and really squeezing your back at the bottom like you're trying to squeeze a pencil. You want to then push up and protract your scapula at the top. If you can't do push-up, there are easier variations such as knee push-ups, incline push-ups, or wall push-ups. The next push exercise are dips. To perform this, you are elevated between 2 parallel bars where you are going down and pushing yourself up on the bars. These similarly target the chest, triceps, and shoulders. Try to go deep, but not too deep where you start feeling a sharp pain. If your exercises are feeling off or you feel some kind of sharp pain, listen to your body and try a different approach. If you can't do dips, bench dips are a good alternative, but they primarily target the triceps, so instead, try using a band to assist you when performing a dip. For pull exercises, pull-ups and chin-ups are both great options as they target the lats, but chin-ups can be slightly easier and have more of a bicep focus. To perform a pull-up, place your hands slightly shoulder-width apart, then you want to engage your scapula and pull yourself up, at least getting your chin over the bar. Once you're up, squeeze your back like there's a pencil, and then hold it for a few seconds. Finally, control the downwards and repeat. Another pull exercise are inverted rows. They're an easier variation of pull-ups and chin-ups, and they target more of the mid-back. Next are leg exercises. The simple bodyweight squat can get you very far, but there are other leg exercises like lunges and Bulgarian split squats. These exercises target the quads and glutes, but don't forget calf raises for the calves. Last is core. The benefit of calisthenics is that a lot of the exercises are compound movements, meaning they target multiple exercises at once. If you want to get stronger, along with learning cool skills, having a strong core is very important. Now, having visible abs and a strong functioning abs are different. To build a strong core, exercises like hollow holds, planks, and leg raises are good. Now, if you want to see gains in your effort, you have to progressively overload. You've probably heard of progressive overload before, but what does it actually mean? Progressive overload is basically upping the difficulty of your exercise to stimulate muscle growth. Think about it like an RPG game. As you play and level up, you get stronger. As you get stronger, you progress to tougher areas and the cycle repeats. If you were to go back to the starting area, you realize that the enemies you were previously struggling with are now incredibly easy to defeat. That's because you've adapted to tougher challenges, and the starting area no longer pushes you. Now imagine if you never left the starting area. You'd still level up, but it would be painfully slow. Each new level would take more and more XP because the challenges aren't hard enough to push real growth. This can be translated to our workouts. Our body adapts to the exercises we throw at it by building muscle. But if you keep doing the same exercises at the same difficulty, your body has no reason to build more muscle. Now, how do we apply progressive overload? Well, by increasing the difficulty, you can add more reps. So you can go from 3 sets of 8 reps to 3 sets of 10. Or you can add more sets. For example, going from 3 sets to 4 sets. You can also change the exercise itself. Push-ups are a great progression. You can go from knee push-ups to incline push-ups and then to regular. Now, that can sound very confusing and you can get mixed up in the different variations, the numbers of sets and reps, so another thing you can do is to add weight. If push-ups become easier, you can add a resistance band or wear a weighted vest. If you don't have a weighted vest, you can use a backpack with heavy books or objects. Another way to progress is to go slower. By slowing down your reps and putting more time under tension stimulates more muscle growth. You want to progressively overload at a range of once or twice a week once you're able to at least do the exercise with good form effectively. I recommend using some kind of notes to keep track of the weight and reps you're doing so you can visually track your progress and you don't get mixed up. Now for the part that most people struggle or find it very confusing, and that's actually structuring your workout program. There are many different types of workout splits and you can easily get confused and caught up in all of them. Here I have broken down a few workout splits that may suit you based on how much time you have in a week. If you can only train twice a week, I recommend a full body split for each day, changing up the exercises. For example, my first day might have pull-ups, and so the next week I'll incorporate Australian rows instead. If you can only train 3 times a week, I recommend a push-pull leg split. It categorizes each exercise based on their primary movements and allows you to better focus on those specific muscles effectively. If you can only train 4 times a week, I recommend an upper-lower split, splitting 2 of the days dedicated for the upper body and the other 2 for the lower body. Now if you can train 6 days a week, I recommend a push-pull leg split times 2. In terms of the amount of sets and reps you should be doing, the hypertrophy range or the growth range is usually around the 6 to 12 reps. Now you can still build muscle under 6 reps and over 20 reps, but they serve other purposes. Example, under 6 is mainly for strength building and 20 plus for muscle endurance. In terms of sets, it's a misconception that more volume equals more muscle, but really that's not the case. What your aim should be per set and reps is if you're getting close or to failure. With that in mind, you can do as little as 2 sets and still build muscle. On average, I'd say 2 to 4 is a really good range. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe and feel free to message or comment if you need any clarifications. Thanks for watching and stay kind, and good luck to all your guys' calisthenics journey.